and finish the main.
Is gone. I am pleased to hear it. So many young people today suffer needlessly. They live through a dull pain, sublimely drifting under the waves, never understanding the ecstasy that awaits them if they open their hearts to Ilmater. Justice? But what is justice? No, don't answer. That was a rhetorical question. There are more important things you must answer for, such as your attack on my domain. After centuries of Ixanamai's laboriously worded speeches and delusions of grandeur, it is a welcome change to hear such succinct threats from an enemy. Thank you for disposing of her, by the way. Her speeches were quite tiresome, and she suffered her defeats so poorly. The only thing really standing in the way of my conquering this territory was Ixanamai. When you killed her, you removed the largest obstacle in my campaign.
Wouldn't that make me your next largest obstacle?
As you probably already know, my arrival in this world was a result of conflict with my ancient adversary. I was exiled from my home plane when my vendetta with Ixanamai got, as my superiors said, out of control. As soon as I arrived in this world, I knew that Ixanamai would follow. After all, what's a few thousand years and a billion miles between old friends? I sought out a base of opera calling to me from a distant glacier. It was this, Gren Shiniban. It's an artifact so old that it makes me a crystal shard with magical powers of such magnitude that Kaldahar's Heartstone gem, despite the fact that the shard has a somewhat overbearing personality, our plans seem to coincide. Enough to assume the information inside of Padium's head allowed me to flesh out what's going well, until that annoying Arendelle and your good friend, the late Hrothgar, decided to investigate Ixanamai's poorly veiled activities in Dragon enough to prevent Hrothgar's band from starting their expedition. I had Craig Frostbeard and his giants cause the avalanche that crushed Hrothgar, Acalia, and those other fools. After that, I didn't really care what you were doing until you seized the Heartstone gem from Ixanamai.
Whoopsie.
I thought that Arendelle would be the only person capable of using it when I thought the threat was ended. I certainly didn't expect you to take the gem to Laurel in the Severed Hand. Very clever. Unfortunate that event have been inconsequential. During your extended bloody trek through Upper Dawns, Worm's Tooth, and Lower Dawns, I was building up forces elsewhere, outside of Eden. Now, it would probably break you to see how easy it is to crush houses and cause temples to explode. Everything you've done is pointless. I am the beginning and the end of this story. I, and only I, will determine how it plays out.
We'll see.
Goodbye.
Now I can't see anything. It's so much fire. All this stuff coming after me. Uh-oh. Go after this guy before he casts anything else. I forgot about that. Uh-oh. Something just happened.
In the heat of the battle, the twisted priest of Ilmater stumbled, gripping his chest as if mortally stricken. A faint glow began to emanate from the crystal that hung round his neck. Suddenly, the entire cave was engulfed in an explosion of blinding light. When the light finally died, the party discovered that they were no longer within the dark passages of Dorn's Deep. As they struggled to regain their bearings, they realized that they had been returned to the town of Easthaven. But this was not the sleepy fishing village they had left so long ago. Enchantment had fallen over the town, encasing what remained of the shattered homes and buildings in a prison of solid ice. At the center of the destruction, upon the very spot where the Temple of Tempus once stood, rose a massive tower of crystal.
And now we're back to where it all began.
Good as gold. You'll soon sleep with the dead.
Die, Cyclops, die! Oh wow, restore blade of that +5. Holy cow. I wish I could use it. I can't use it. So now you know, make sure you do this quest correct in the beginning, because it will come back to help you. And there's a little update. My cleric just hit level 21.